Good morning, afternoon or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, on this wonderful Wednesday for what is going to be nothing short of another jam-packed daily market update. And if you aren't already a subscriber, do consider becoming one, because we drop an update just like this one around 1 p.m. UK time every single day to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening in the crypto space, but also the broader markets. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. This is going to be a bit of a conspiratorial one, because we're going to be looking at the fact that post the Trump election, or the Trump victory, I should say, it was very much a Trump election also, we've seen some of the cryptocurrencies that were rumored to be speculating to be forming a coalition as it relates to the United States government actually meet one another and announce it publicly. And rather interesting, yesterday, Hedera, which is my largest position in the cryptocurrency space, their sort of CEO deleted a tweet, and then the foundation sort of posted that roaring kitty sitting upright from his chair tweet. So we'll get into all of that. Sometimes I like doing these fun videos with you in our daily market update, but because it is a daily market update, I really want to start things off with some price action. I got a lot of comments about some of the cryptos that have given us hundreds of % so far. If you're not benefiting from this, what are you doing? Consider becoming a patron. If it's not for you, you can leave after a month. We're doing a sort of portfolio update tonight, which will be live. I saw a lot of comments saying, why is it pulling back? It's crashing. The usual suspects. Relax. When you look at some of these cryptocurrencies that broke out of the falling wedges that we gave, there's no crash here. There's going to be pullbacks. Something like Algo was also another one. Of course, Hedera. And we did a longer price action video on Hedera. Of course, there's going to be pullbacks. Things do not just go up in a straight line. But it's very interesting that the cryptocurrencies that we're going to look at in just a second in regards to the founders all now meeting are the ones that are doing very well and seem to be doing very well on the back end of that Trump victory. Anyway, let's just stick to the price action for now. So we did look at a smaller pattern for Bitcoin. On the hourly timeframes, we like to keep you away from the hourly timeframes. That ultimately sees us run to around about 97k. This is a continuation pattern, essentially a pennant-like structure. And of course, the broader picture for Bitcoin is a very positive one. And we have a journey to higher prices ahead of us. There's going to be pullbacks along the way. And if you're sat on the sidelines, I'm not going to advise anybody to take advantage of them, but that's personally what I'll be doing with some spare capital that I have. There's lots of mining stocks that we're looking into at the moment. We think mining is yet to have its real boom. And actually, largely the boom that we've seen in the crypto space is what many of the gatekeeper influencers called dino coins out there that they couldn't quite manipulate in the same way they could the others in a time of low liquidity and volume. But the coins that are doing well, we'll talk about in just a second, because all the founders are now meeting one another. And this is all post the Trump election. There was rumors that there was going to be some sort of a coalition. But the markets are in really good health. The entire cryptocurrency market cap sits at $3 trillion. There was lots of sort of financial news that I'm going to skip for the sake of this. We'll maybe catch up with it tomorrow. The total, so this is the total market cap. Remember, we've got a doubling of this to come, in my opinion. Obviously, this is total 2, a tripling or a quadrupling of this to come, in my opinion. And of course, total 3, which we still think has some significant upside. Others, even our crypto ETP is doing exceptionally well. Where are they? So we've got Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund. You know, when it walks, talks, and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, ladies and gentlemen. No cat today. I know many of you really enjoyed seeing the cat. We will bring her back. I don't want to inflate her ego too much. But when we look at the markets from a technical point of view, yes, there's going to be pullbacks, but generally the broad direction which we've been on is in the right one. And there's going to be pullbacks along the way. Don't panic. I think when it comes to some of these cryptos, everyone's got the sort of post-March syndrome where Bitcoin pulled back and it took everything with it. We don't think Bitcoin's going to be pulling back on any kind of a meaningful scale like what we saw for the majority of this year. And ultimately, the altcoin market should do very well. But what I want to do now, guys, is dive over to what I think is more than just a rumor. Now, we had news from a anonymous source, and I doubted it very much, that the likes of X as a platform, Cardano, Hedera, and Hyperledger essentially were going to enable some sort of an e-gov or a digital identity, which will come in time. And actually, the cryptos that were put forward could be quite likely ones to do so. But there was nothing official on this. Now, since Trump's victory, Charles Hoskinson came out and he did an AML or a video, as he always does, and we've covered many of them. We've been covering Cardano for years. It's another one of our falling wedges that did very well. He did an AML and he came out and said he's likely going to be going to Congress and he's signing NDAs and things like this, and that he had signed an NDA right around the time that he went to go to Hawthorns and, of course, visit SpaceX. Now, Elon Musk has an agency. We're just throwing lots of things out here that are kind of circulating right now, or has been given an agency called DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, by Trump. And we know Charles likely met Elon when he was at SpaceX. We know he said, I'm heading to California for some meetings with a smiley face. Yesterday, he announced that he had just had a great meeting with Jeb McCaleb. Anybody that's not familiar with Jeb McCaleb, he's the founder of Stellar. He was one of the early sort of developers on obviously Ripple's XRP, or Ripple as it was sort of called back then. And he also met with the likes of Brad Garlinghouse. This is Charles at the bottom here. I just spoke with Brad Garlinghouse. He's a great CEO and extremely collaborative, and I'm excited to see how the future unfolds. I'll do a longer video on this later on today. Also, your favorite, probably XRP individual, David Schwartz. It was a pleasure talking to you. Midnight sounds extremely interesting. It was great talking to Joel Katz about Midnight and XRP. Wonderful technical conversation. And of course, he has been speaking with Lehman Baird. Now, one thing that all these cryptocurrencies have in common, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see things come out about Algorand and some of the others, is they're all ISO 20022 standard cryptocurrencies. And standardization for the industry is going to be paramount. It's going to be of the utmost importance. And all of these coins that are all of a sudden meeting with one another, we know there is an alliance in the form of DREC, are also, which stands for Decentralized Recovery, which is something headed up by, obviously, Lehman, that has XRP, Cardano, Algo on it, and, of course, HBAR, or Hedera. All of a sudden, post-Trump victory, these guys are all meeting up with one another. And Charles is flying to SpaceX, and there's rumors coming out about some sort of a government agency that consists of these cryptocurrencies. And I'm actually here to tell you that I think there's a good likelihood, and I want to know your thoughts in the comment section, that this actually comes to fruition in some form or another. The facts are, Trump is president. He's very pro-crypto. He's likely going to appoint a pro-crypto SEC chair, which has huge ramifications for the entire industry, as that's really what's hindered us. He's formed an agency called Dogecoin, for goodness sake, and allowed Elon Musk, or not Dogecoin, Doge, and allowed Elon Musk to head it. All these CEOs and founders are now talking with one another. The current prices have done very, very well, I think, predominantly not led by retail, but more of an institutional initiation. And there's rumors everywhere that there's some sort of a coalition going on between these coins that are doing well, that happen to be ISO 20022 standard cryptos. Something is going on, and it's kind of obvious. But what that is to be, we know Charles signed a non-disclosure agreement, so of course he can't discuss it yet. What that is going to be is still to be found. And is that going to be one of the major narratives that sees these markets do exceptionally well? I think so. And it's an extremely exciting time to be alive. I wanted to spend this sort of video talking about it because we obviously cover all of these cryptocurrencies zealously, some more than others. And we hold the majority of them. Because ultimately, we've always seen utility beating hype driven by some of the large crypto content creators in the long run that oftentimes will hype it up just so they can dump on their followers the next day. And there's lots of proof for that around the space. We're not going to name any names or sort of attach it to anyone because I don't think that's fair at all. And you know, I'd never do anything like that without hard evidence. I know Zach XPT has done a lot of it, but, you know. Anyway, something very interesting is taking place. In regards to the price action, guys, we've covered it day in, day out. We've gone through it time and time again. We've very much set the trap, and it's now snagged. And ultimately, things are going in the right direction. And these cryptos that we looked at doing well are now doing well. They're likely going to continue in line with a broader space. And there's something very interesting. Is this a conspiracy? Is this a rumor? Or is it just more than that? I think potentially we're getting evidence that it's more than that. But we'll see what the fruits of this secretive labor are going to be in the future. That's really it from me, ladies and gentlemen. There's so much going on. Sometimes we like to just do a specific video on a specific thing and something that's I'm finding very interesting. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you guys think is going on? Do you think that rumor that this Sean character came out and said is more of a true one? I don't know this guy's credentials. I don't know where his source was. But I think one thing that we do know is the cryptos mentioned are now working with one another. And there is likely going to be a blockchain element in regards to the US government in more than one way. And who better to facilitate that than US-based or certainly backed cryptocurrencies? And remember what Trump said about US cryptos and capital gains and how he's going to try and make the United States the home of crypto, which extends far outside of, in my opinion, just Bitcoin. But there is going to be an arms race more broadly. That's it from me. I'm going to leave you on that now. Have a wonderful Wednesday, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.